What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Kachi, where we highlight individuals that are really taking their industry by storm. And today, we have writer, we have DJ, we have social activist, we have community leader, we have all around amazing individual, my good friend. And I'm so glad that we were able to. We were talking about this before the interview and the fact that we were trying to get this going for so long and everyone is so busy. So it's one, a great thing that I'm able to be able to sit down and have conversations like this with such amazing people, like none other than the one and only Katherine. I'm gonna say it right, Nyahanga. Thank you for coming in and kicking with me. I know, like I said, in the midst of everything, it can get very crazy. So I'm appreciative of the fact that I have a platform where we can kind of slow down and kind of just reflect a little bit on how we got to be. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I had a wonderful weekend. It was a wedding yesterday. Lots of fun, just celebrating love, lots of music. And today I have you. So I'm pretty grateful. It's been good.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm glad that you were able to be a part of a wonderful connecting and loving occasion. And we'll definitely get into that, especially now, right? With I kind of feel like it's kind of a solidification, right? Like you're going around Vermont, you're doing shows, people are kind of knowing you as DJ, right? As the vibe curator. And I want to get to the beginning, right? How did we kind of get here? The name Nyake, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah.
Nyake, right? Also get into that story, right? Where did that come from? And then how did you kind of establish yourself in a place where there isn't a lot of people that like Afrobeats or like reggaeton or like dembow, or maybe you found pockets that did. So what was the origin story of becoming, right, Nyake the DJ?
So Nyaka the DJ, I created Nyaka the DJ a long time ago. I started when I was 15. And it was child's play, really. It was just me and a bunch of friends who were DJs. And I figured I love music and I loved what they were doing. And so I jumped into it. But I did radio in Uganda for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it was super easy for me to navigate just the industry overall. The name Nyake was not existing at the time. Nyake was
What was
only
the name
created.
before?
It was just Kath.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a short of Catherine, just Kath.
Right.
And then Nyake was created just 2 years ago.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Okay, so one with the coming from Uganda and then being in a place like America, right? What is the sort of ins and outs of the industries and the parallels that you kind of had to navigate now coming, kind of crossing over?
to be honest, I can't really express much on that because I stopped DJing when I turned 19 for a bit.
Mm,
Because there was so many things going on: new job, acclimating to new environments, moving to the US,
right.
got married, had babies. I have two daughters, and then got divorced, started a new career now, with a very great community. Working with our community has been such a gift. And then my best friend Sarah had a birthday party, and I said, "I'll DJ for you," and she goes, "Oh, sure, why not?" And she took a gamble because she had never actually heard me DJ. And so I show up and I just play. And then that was just how it all happened. It was a joke
I
in some
mean,
sense.
a joke or kind of a fateful encounter, right? A happy
Yeah.
coincidence, a happy accident, as they like to say, right? And then, as you said, 2 years ago, now Niyake is born. Where
Yes.
where does that decision in saying, is that kind of like a like a, hey, this is what I want to do. I need to have some sort of name, image, persona. What was the aura, I guess, atmosphere for you in creating Niyake?
I think it goes back to our tribe, the people that we surround ourselves with. And I'm so blessed to have a group of creative people that see me for who I am and for who I'm becoming and accept me overall and push me to become that person. Sarah, a photographer, she's super awesome. She just woke up one day and said, "Let's go to the store and get a deck." We got the deck, and it's just been one fun event after another, just being able to share that gift and see people happy dancing, and get lost in with just so many things that are happening around us. Having that particular tribe has been such a gift for me. And going back to what had the meaning of nyake, so nyake just means that girl. My
Mm.
Nyake means that girl. My Ugandan best friend, Mito, and my grandmother, rest her soul, inspired that. She used to call me Nyake, which just means that girl. You know, the native way of calling, hey, that girl,
Right,
you
right,
girl.
right,
And so I don't think she ever knew my name when I think
right.
about it, because that was the only way she called for me. And I figured, why not? Nyaka it is. And it has a great meaning behind it. And I get to carry my grandmother with me, and share that energy with the world.
And you get to walk around, people be calling you that girl. I like
That
that.
girl, yes.
And then in landing in Vermont, right? And everyone I think has a kind of stumbling into Vermont and doesn't expect themselves to be here as long as they are, and then they end up here as long as they are. Sign of story. So how did your end up here a little longer than you plan to be story kind of go? Um, and how do you like it navigating and making it a place that you can call kind of your home and build community here?
I love Vermont. I had visited in 2018, and that was when I had my last baby, Zia. And then I came back again in 2019 to visit with my children, and I just loved how small it is, and just how easy it is to navigate spaces, where your child's going to school. And I'm one of those parents that gets worried when I don't know where my child is, or if they're so far away. I lived in Arizona for a bit, and schools are quite scattered, right? So if you want your child to go to a
Mm,
really good school, then you have to
right,
go
right,
to, and Burlington, Vermont overall is just so different. If you live in Burlington, then your child goes to Burlington School District.
right,
If you
right.
live in South Burlington, and I really like that. So it's just easy to navigate spaces. I know where I'm at all the time. And the people, it's such a great, I cannot complain. I have a great tribe, and I like small towns. I cannot survive in a city. I went to New York one time. I meant to stay there for a week, and I came back after 2 weeks. So it was so overwhelming, and Vermont is just perfect. The weather is bipolar, but
Jesus Christ.
yes, yes, but everything else has been a gift. I cannot complain.
And I would say, right, you said you can't handle being in big cities, but your music and your artistry and your talent has taken you across country lines, right? You've been overseas and been able to do shows and perform and connect and build community also in these places that you've probably never been before, been in a space like that. So what was that? What were those experiences like in going to Europe and being able to kind of share your gift and also kind of hear the gifts of other people in the same sphere in the same industry as you?
I think it's, again, it goes back to tribe, and
Mm.
depends on where and what your direction is. DJing for me is a fun project, right? It's a gift, but my real calling is genuinely supporting my community, writing and giving back as best as I can. And I know giving back via music is also a gift. But what happened was, it always happens like that with it's friends wanting you to DJ an event. It's been saying, "Oh, can you please show up?" And it's like, "Yes, why not?" It would be a great experience to share that gift with people, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I've listened to more music than I can count, and there's still more music being made, and there's still so much that I haven't heard, and I'm always very excited to.
And I want to you speak about in working with community and building community. As everyone knows, in addition to the get down and flying overseas and going to New York and going to all these places and doing shows, my good friend Katherine also is a major proponent of the AALV, in where they help African refugees, and now more than just African refugees, as I'm coming to understand, but refugees and immigrant communities that are coming to Vermont and looking to relocate and also build home and also build community there. So what has kind of been an experience for you in, you know, being a person where, like, I'm a person where nonprofits helped me as I relocated to Vermont, and now working at one is kind of like a full circle moment. So is it kind of similar for you in being, you know, an African immigrant to the United States, and then being now part of an organization that also helps other African immigrants and other immigrants in general, you know, acclimate and sort of relocate and also kind of express themselves in their own communities now in a place like Vermont?
Yeah, I think in some ways it is similar. Um, you know, where we come from, how
Mm-hmm.
I grew up, um, hope is a very slim glimmer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's one of those emotions, feelings, experiences that not many people have because we're too worried about what we're gonna have now versus what's coming tomorrow,
Right.
right? So it's being here and being able to support people and show up and see their lives change tremendously and see them work really hard, because the biggest part is them taking actions to make sure that they are actually getting better for themselves, for their families, and providing. I am so proud of our community. I think that just watching and experience, because they are allowing us to be a part of their sacred experience life, right? Like they're
Right.
telling stories of where they come from, the things they've been through. And it's such an honor to just give back in that way, especially because I know where I come from and
Right.
I remember every little detail of where I come from and what that feeling is. So being able to give back and be hopeful and give that hope and see that hope actually ignite into something that is beautiful. I can't, there's no way to describe that feeling.
What has been some highlights for you in now living in Vermont and kind of, you know, I don't always say congratulations on divorces, but I feel like I've been saying that a lot more now. But right, like you have a tribe, you have a community, you have your daughters, right? You have multiple careers in where you're not only filling your own cup and filling the cups of other people. So what have been some highlights for you on this crazy journey, right? That we've been calling life and the process, nonetheless.
The experience. For me, the biggest highlight is just the experience and being able to share myself graciously with people that I trust, and also just making amazing connections. Vermont is filled with so many people. I remember when I met my first friend in Vermont 3 years ago. But I have lived here 5 years now, but I met my first friend 3 years ago because I was just so worried about what the community would perceive me as. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of us live in that, oh, I don't think people can see me for who I am. And if they actually do, are they able to actually handle who I am or
Right.
accept who I am? Because I may look like, I am happy all the time, but I've got my moments of just being human overall. And,
Right.
and so when I met my first friend, Sarah, we actually met in a salon. I remember expressing to her that Vermont is just so hard to navigate in terms of
Mm.
making friendships that actually last, because you'll meet a
Right.
lot of people and it's very temporary. So my biggest highlight is just being able to create meaningful, long friendships, connections. And I cannot express to you how that community has made living in Vermont much better. And it's not depending on them. It's just having people that you can count on,
Mm-hmm.
talk to,
Mm-hmm.
connect you with, right? So, and every gig that I've been able to actually get as a DJ, as Nyaka the DJ, has been through those very meaningful connections.
Right.
So,
And in creating, right, and building connections, and I love the fact of, you know, it is an intentional thing, right? When you're here and you're in the mountains, and it can get very easy to be so siloed and isolated, and especially being new and not being able to fit into the Vermonti way in a way,
yeah,
or feel like you can't. So yeah, being able to build those connections and being able to build lifelong communities are paramount, right, to kind of surviving in a place like this. And I'm glad that you know, amazing people have amazing people to support them, like yourself.
yeah.
And in compiling a lot of that as well, like we have some ridership that is coming our way from you. Let's talk a little bit about some upcoming Upcoming publications, possibly in the near or far future. What's going on in that realm?
Hopefully in the near future. I'm super excited. My book, it's Bloom Heal Love, 365 Days of Affirmation and Healing. And it's a book that I have intentionally, hopefully, lovingly put so much effort in. And it's been easy because it's a year-long journey of emotional growth and self-discovery. And each day in the book offers short reflections, a powerful affirmation, and a simple action step to just help you reconnect with yourself. And these are steps that I've taken by myself, going through a heartbreak, navigating the divorce, breaking negative cycles, building a more grounded, loving inner world for myself. Because at the end of the day, we can always talk to people, but if you can't sit still and talk with yourself and feel who you are and accept who you are and deal with the traumas, the neglect, right, that we've had to grow with and who you are becoming. I feel like every year, right, the experiences that we go through, we become a different person. And I wouldn't call
Hmm.
it changing. I always say it's evolving. You're evolving into a
Right.
better version because you're doing that with a new experience. You're becoming a person that you've never been, and accepting that takes a process. And so my book is, I'm super excited and nervous at the same time because what inspired me to write it, it was just navigating so many things, including single motherhood,
Right.
and
Right.
hope that it will help other people. And I wish that, I hope, a lot of hope. I It makes me super nervous when I think about the book, but it's a big part of who I am. It's a sacred part of who I am. It's like sharing a
And
recipe.
I would say you talk about like the ability to look ourselves in the mirror and talk with ourselves and being honest with ourselves. How much of that did you have to do with yourself, right? In writing the book and compiling these experiences and having to be vulnerable in a place of connection and empathy in a way.
All of it. I had to surrender, right, to the unknown. I had to navigate and accept the flaws. And I think as individuals, we are so afraid of being judged for our experiences. But our experiences are what shapes us, or it's what makes us who we are. When you meet people and you're like, oh, you're such a great vibe. Yeah, it took a lot of work.
It took a lot of
Let's
work.
face It's taken a lot of work to be a great vibe. It's taken
Yeah.
patience, it's taken acceptance, it's taken healing, and just being able to look in the mirror and say, I need this and I don't want this, because needing something and wanting it are two different things. And as a mother, I don't want to see my children experience the same things that I've been through, right? And I'm not talking about generational wealth or being able to station them. I think if you are whole on the inside, it is much easy for you to give yourself and to accept other people as they are without
Hmm.
judging them. And the book overall, just, it has nothing about me in it, which is perfect,
Right.
right? It's simple affirmations, reflections, and an action step of how your day to day is. And I've been using it still on, and it's taken me 4 years to write that book.
Wow.
Um, yes, because
Well, we're glad that you got your good foot forward and finally did it. We're glad.
yes, I'm excited.
Are there any other projects, any other upcoming things that we need to be looking on the horizon for from you um in the near future?
Be open to the possibilities of anything. Yeah, anything is possible. I never know what will happen. I live my life with an open heart and accept what comes, and there may be some great things coming up. Who knows? And when they do, I will share.
I think I actually know one great thing that's coming up actually because it was on the radio, so I could say it out loud now. But I don't know the exact date. But if you guys are in Burlington for Brewery Fest, I
Yes,
believe you also are DJing at the Brewery Fest thing that's at the waterfront. That's what
yes,
you're
I am.
doing. Yeah, you was trying to be coy and the whole thing, the whole thing. I know, I knew something was. I remember. I was listening on the radio, and I'm like, I know that person that's gonna DJ.
It will
Yes,
be July 18th, and I'm super excited. I
July
was
18th, Brewery Fest, Burlington Waterfront. Nyahanga the DJ. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Nice. And then for the summertime, I mean, what are we looking at for ourselves? How best do we kind of heal when it's nice and warm, rarely in Vermont, and taking some time for ourselves to sort of, center.
Oh, Vermont is beautiful. I love being by the water. I cannot swim to save my life,
Oh
but I
wow.
will. I think it's an African thing.
We just like putting our feet in the water,
Yeah,
is
it's just oops, Hi, I'm here. I love being around the water. My daughters love to swim. They are great swimmers. So I spend a lot of my time outside journaling when I can. With friends, please connect with people. I think it's even if it's just a moment of checking in with especially your strong friends or your friends that seem strong. We all need um, more intimacy, and it doesn't have to be physical, but just emotional presence for ourselves and our friends, and spending time alone, taking long walks. I embrace our summer because when the winter comes,
oh my God, girl. Jesus Christ.
when the
Jesus.
winter comes, it comes with a wave of its own depression, and you have to be open to it and go through it. And I was telling a friend recently about just how the weather sometimes impacts our own well-being, and in
Mm-hmm.
we're secluded and moody and sad and depressed, and in the summer, we're like, yay, here's the sun. And I think it just goes back to accepting who you are now, but also navigating who you can become because the
Right.
possibilities are endless. And we are allowed to be more than just one particular thing and person. You can do so many things. And in that way, write your own legacy, right? You have the pen and the book, and we have the right to become everything that we imagine ourselves to become. If we can imagine it, we already are. We just have to do it, right? And it's scary,
I
but
like
do it
that.
scared anyway.
They were
Yeah,
scared anyway. Yeah, I like that. And you do
yeah,
so much, right? Like a testament to your own word, and really saying like, yeah, I want to DJ. Let me DJ. I want to write a book. Let me write a book, right? And
yeah.
doing all these amazing things. Before we head out of here, is there one dream career that you would want to do?
I've always wanted to be a psychologist,
Hmm.
either
Tell
a
people what's wrong with that.
psychologist, either a psychologist or a therapist,
Okay.
because I do that on a daily anyway. I feel like a therapist to all my friends, family. I'm the person that people come to talk to,
So you
and
might as well get
I
paid.
am yes, and but I'm also very honored
Yeah.
and grateful and graciously, the right word is failing to come, present with
Mm-hmm.
myself enough to hold space for other people. And that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that I'm perfect, because I also do have my moments. But I think being able to navigate life and hold space for other people intentionally
Right.
without losing yourself or your boundaries is a gift. And
Yeah.
we need that. We need more communities and people that we can run to and feel safe with them and not worry that I've told you a sacred part of my story and you're going to use that against me. And so I
Mm-hmm.
feel really honored and and grateful that I am that person. And I'm also grateful for the people that I run to. And I'm sure that,
Mhm.
and I hope that they feel the same way.
I mean, they listening to you, so it makes sense. But I like that in the sense and that it is hard to everyone wants to support other people and people should be supportive, but it is a skill and a gift to kind of nurture that ability to, like I said, open space and
Yes.
still hold boundary, right? Without inflating the ego or personal attribution to someone else's sacred part of their story. So you always therapizing me there. I might as well maybe be your first client if you ever become a therapist, you know.
Like I said, everything is possible.
But Catherine, thank you so much for coming in and kicking with me for just a little bit and just sharing a little bit of your wisdom and your philosophies and your story. And I've been honored to know you both personally, and I'm glad to now and honored to give a platform to you to share a little bit of that story with other people that I know also would hold you dear to their hearts. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor. I know we've talked about this for a really long time, and I'm glad that we have been able to make it happen. So thank you. Thank you for believing in me and for wanting me to be a part of this very precious space of yours.
Of course, and obviously, I always tell people that this is the first of many. So whenever you're rich and famous, and I need a famous person to kind of say, "I know that person," like I'm just gonna call you on, and we're gonna do the whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, I call myself the professional groupie. All my friends become rich and famous. Oh yeah, I'm in the limos. I'm getting water. I'm getting snacks. I'm doing all of that. Whenever you
Well,
need.
when
So.
you become rich and famous, invite me again.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I'm the rich and famous by friend association. Maybe one day I'll be rich and famous on my own, but I
We
I I have
already
a
are.
backup plan in case I don't become rich and famous. When you all do, that's my plan B. You guys are my way out, basically.
I think we already are in a different way. But yes, we are.
But thank you so much once again. And thank you guys for another episode of Kickin with Kachi. You can check out my homegirl Katherine on Instagram at Gratitude with Karth. That's Karth, Karth on Instagram. We got the blue check because she's official. Also check out her Instagram at Nyahanga the DJ as well. Make sure you check out that new book, Bloom, Heal, Love, coming out very, 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 very soon. So you
Yes.
guys can make sure that you guys get one with yourself. And so you're not out here getting crazy with other people. Make sure you guys check out this interview at the DC Voice on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Once again, I'm Onye Kachi, the host at Onye.777. Three of them because I'm lucky. Catherine, thank you so much for kicking with me. We're out of here.
Thank
Peace.
you for having me. Take care.